This is a podcast from the Office for National Statistics covering the monthly construction output survey. For a transcript, email info@ons.gov.uk. The ONS Construction Output Survey is the largest and most comprehensive survey of construction output covering Great Britain. We sample 8,000 construction businesses every month. The businesses we include in the sample make up 37% of total construction employment and over 50% of total construction turnover. Some businesses give us information every month. These include all businesses with more than 100 employees and any business with a turnover in excess of 60 million. Other smaller businesses are sampled, making sure we have all types of businesses represented. The construction industry is made up of over 200,000 businesses, and we will look at how these businesses are made up. Most of them, 81%, are small, with 4 staff or fewer. Then just 16% have 5 to 19 staff, 3% have 20 to 99 staff, and just 0.4% of construction firms have 100 staff or more. Businesses with 10 to 99 members of staff but a turnover of greater than 60 million account for just 0.02% of all businesses. So now let's look at turnover. We showed the vast majority of firms have 4 staff or fewer. However, these firms make up under 20% of the total turnover of the industry. Those businesses with 5 to 19 staff and 20 to 99 staff constitute approximately 18% each. The largest businesses, those with 100 staff or more, are few in number, but constitute nearly 43% of construction turnover. The final 1.7% of turnover comes from businesses with 10 to 99 members of staff but a turnover of greater than 60 million. This chart shows monthly output since the new survey began in January 2010. It shows that output varies through the year, but also that there is a seasonal pattern emerging with the shape of January to March 2011, similar to that in 2010. Seasonal patterns can be taken into account in producing statistics, but 3 years worth of data is required, and so we will do this when we've collected enough data. This graph shows construction output in the first quarter of 2011 compared to the final quarter of 2010. Overall, the sector had lower output than the previous quarter. It was 6.4% down. However, if we bring up the bars for the different size construction businesses, we can see that the smaller businesses lost more output than the larger ones. The construction sector covers a lot of different types of work. The largest area, private commercial, has had a difficult time since the recession started in 2008, but had a temporary bounce back in 2010. A similar pattern can be seen for private new housing and for private industrial work, where 2010 figures were higher than 2009. In contrast, infrastructure projects and other publicly funded work continued to grow up to 2010, but fell back in early 2011. This is also true, but to a lesser extent, with public housing. With the budget constraints on publicly funded work, these levels are beginning to reduce. Some business surveys ask whether or not activity has increased, decreased, or about the same between 2 periods. This is not what ONS does. However, using that approach for the ONS data in the 6 months from October 2010 to March 2011, we get some interesting results. Here we can see the number of businesses that saw output either increase, stay the same, or decrease. This can be represented as a balance. If more businesses saw a decrease than an increase, the balance is negative, as we can see for the smaller businesses here. However, for large businesses, the balance is positive, showing more businesses saw an increase than a decrease. The net balance will be recorded as 5% positive, showing growth. However, the total output generated by the same businesses in the same period shows a different picture. For large businesses, output actually fell by nearly 3%. Firms in the next smaller band, with 20 to 99 staff, would have recorded a reduction using the first method, but a small increase in output in the ONS method. This shows how it is possible for different types of business surveys to give different messages. The ONS survey covers 8,000 businesses, big and small. Every month we find out what has actually happened in firms that deliver 50% of turnover, employing more than a third of construction staff.